Tell Staffing and HR, in conjunction with PatriotTV.live, bring you Play Harder Radio, the premier patriotic sports and BS talk show from America's Gulf Coast. Things that matter in the world of sports and things that don't matter to anyone. It's just Faja's opinion. Where the F-bomb is allowed but frowned upon. This is Play Harder Radio. And now, your host, James Grant.
All right.
You're live.
Here we go. Thank you, Todd.
Thank you.
We are rolling now, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to another episode, Play Harder Radio. Play Harder Radio, Tell Staffing and HR Studios here in Pensacola, Florida, down on the Emerald Coast. Have you ever been here? Has any? Kelly comes here to Destin. We're going to have her in the studio in less than 60 days.
Let's hope.
Yeah, well, you never know, right?
Let's talk to her. I'm admitting her right now.
We'll see if she shows. But welcome back. How was your week? You're out of school.
I'm out of school for another 2 weeks. Kelly might chime in here any second, as far as we might hear her melodic voice.
Here I am.
It's Glamma.
Glamma.
Yeah.
You know what the Bible says about ego and stuff? Glamma.
Hey, it is Pride Month.
I know how you got that name. I know you named yourself.
We just came off Pride Month. It's okay.
No, I actually did not name myself smartass.
Oh, I love it. I
what?
struck it. Yes. I struck a chord. Yes.
What?
What? Go ahead. Explain.
What are you guessing?
Explain how you got your grandma name.
Somebody's trying to call me, and I have this on.
Is it Tia? Is she trying to call you?
No, it's not Tia, but I have this on. What's it called?
Do not disturb.
Yeah, and it's still doing it.
Well, it's just not. It'll show it. It should go straight to voicemail. You probably don't have it on Do Not Disturb.
I do.
Please show your phone on the screen so I can tell if you do or not.
I can't. I'm using my phone to Zoom from.
Do we need to help with IT support to help you?
Yes.
The right
So
setting?
back to my question.
Oh
How was Mark's? By the way, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Can you see me?
Oh, I see you. I just want to know if you're here or not.
I'm here.
How was Mark's birthday?
Great. I fixed Louisiana chicken pasta, and it was delicious.
You sent us pictures, right?
I think I did.
She sends pictures of everything now.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I like
Oh,
it.
here, look at my shirt. Look at my shirt.
What?
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
I love it.
Wake up. Oh, here, let me show you the back. Hang on a minute. I don't like the way this phone is. What is going on? Hold on. No, you need the one where they play with Joe. They play for Joe Biden.
Obviously, I can't do that higher pitched. What's it? I can't say what it says.
Infowars.com.
Oh, nice.
That's good. I like that.
Nice.
Yeah. And you can meet people out in the public where they go, "Oh, I love Alex."
Do you get a lot of response from it?
When I wear it, yeah. Actually, these teenage boys even said something to me about it one time. I was shocked.
I bet they did.
Mm-hmm.
Did they?
They said, "We love Alex."
Glamma.
I gotta turn this down because it's shining in my glasses.
So, how did you
dear.
get the grandma name Glamma?
Glamma.
Glamma.
Because, I used to have a makeup business, and the actual definition of glamma is a grandma that is too glamorous to be called grandma.
I get that part of it, and I'm not surprised that that's your grandma name.
Okay.
But who gave it to you?
One of my friends, and I cannot remember who.
I think it's very fitting, Kelly.
So then you chose it for the grandkids to call you.
Oh, yeah, but they really can't say it.
I knew it. I told you, Todd.
Actually, Nehemiah can say it, but Harper can't really say it that good.
How's Nehemiah doing?
Much better. He's very good. He's been diagnosed as an asthmatic now, though. So
Well, we'll get rid of that.
yes.
I'll handle that tonight when I get home.
Okay.
I have a direct line.
I know. I do too.
We all
Thank
do.
you. Mm-hmm.
So it
That's
doesn't
right.
doesn't worry me because we'll get rid of that.
Okay.
But your week's been good?
Yes, it's settled down after last week.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Didn't he wreck their car Friday morning? Then we had to have Nike put to sleep, and then Nehemiah was in the hospital.
Oh, is that do you have a dog?
Who wrecked their car?
Sydney. Same person had to have the dog put to sleep.
And what's the dog's name?
It was Nike.
Yeah, it probably should be put to sleep
Well,
with that kind of name.
that had nothing to do with it, but
Can we put Nike to sleep?
She was just a aggressive pit bull, and there was nothing we could do with her.
Oh, wow.
Ooh,
Really?
I'm sorry
That's
to hear
too
that.
bad.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking.
She probably didn't like
'Cause
her
I loved
name.
her. Maybe. Hmm.
Did she hurt anybody?
Not anybody, but several dogs.
Couldn't
Yeah.
just keep her away from dogs, huh?
I mean, no, you can't. It was a 3-ring circus around here trying to juggle whose dogs were out at what time, and you had to keep her on a leash, and it was terrible. Yeah.
I had
It was terrible.
I had a Shar-Pei Chow.
Oh yes, they can be. Wait a minute, no Shar-Pei. Yes. We had a friend that had a violent Shar-Pei. Go ahead.
And it was a Shar-Pei Chow mix, and we know Chows can be on edge.
You know what? I think that was the same thing she had. Yes.
And the Shar-Peis were they had all that loose skin because they were fighting dogs,
Yeah.
Chinese fighting dogs. But we took her on vacation. We got her as a pup, and then my wife's brother, my brother-in-law, got her sister. They lived in Kansas. We lived in Denver. We went to Kansas and to see them. I don't know, couple months after we got her.
Yeah.
And we opened the car door, and they were sitting at the front porch with his dog. And we opened the car door, and she got out of that car, and she saw her sister and I mean like a bullet right to her, and bam.
Attacked her.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we kept her. We were able to. We didn't take her out without a leash or whatever, right?
Yes, but it's just too dangerous.
And so, but if you couldn't let her out if she was around another dog. So I get I see where you're coming from. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Too dangerous. Yeah.
I got a
it was
funny
very
story
sad.
about it though. Can I tell it?
Yeah.
Jared was in 7th grade, and he was riding the bus home, and kids are talking, right, about their dogs. And he's like, I have a Shar-Pei. And they're like, what's a Shar-Pei? And he goes, well, it's a Chinese fighting dog. And the neighbor kid down the street at the end of the block goes, I have a Rottweiler. My Rottweiler would kill your dog.
Oh no.
And Jared goes, I mean, I don't know exactly how he said it. This is me telling the story, right? He goes, I don't think so. The kid goes, my dog would kill your dog. Jared goes, I doubt it.
No.
And the kid's like, well, why don't you bring her down and we'll see?
Oh no.
And Jared goes, okay. So they get dropped off. Jared goes home off the bus stop. He goes home and gets her, puts her on a leash, and walks down to the kid's house, right? And the kid brings his Rottweiler out on a leash, and they walk him up to each other, and she just bam, she had that Rottie by the throat and on the ground in 2 seconds. And the
How
kid,
did he get them separated?
he was able to pull her off,
Wow.
but she had him by the throat and would have killed him. The kid was screaming and crying, and Jared's like, I told you. I think it's a funny story to me.
Wow. Well, it could have ended a lot worse,
Well,
like with a lawsuit.
well, let me tell. What would the lawsuit be?
Your dog attacked their dog.
At their son's request.
Well,
So my answer would be GFY.
well,
I was just going to say it's funny you said that because I would defend
that would
it.
work in court.
What's that?
I don't know that would hold up in court.
I don't know why it wouldn't though.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, I think either way, you're not supposed to have dog fights. I mean,
well,
Right.
I think
Michael
what
Vick.
goes down, I don't think it would get to court. It was two 7th grade boys
Okay.
being stupid
Right.
is what it's
Well,
going to turn out to be.
Probably, hopefully back then it wouldn't happen, but today everybody wants to sue everybody, so I guarantee it would.
You know what? I think we thought the same way then, probably, about lawsuits,
Yeah.
but now it's just magnified.
Oh yeah, everybody
be
wants to
substantially.
sue.
It would be on the news where back then it wouldn't have.
Right, right.
Kelly, you want to talk sports for a minute?
Sure.
You know, she loves that.
Well, I think
I'm trained.
I
I'm
think
trained. I know what to say. I know what to do. Go ahead.
Is this
I'm
from
waiting.
the training I told you about?
Yes.
I love it. I love that you've got. Are you good at it yet?
I'm so excited.
Excuse me.
Bring it. Bring the sports.
So LeBron is back in the news.
Yes. That
And-
piece of
Yep.
trash.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he was on the Shop, and I'm not sure what
Okay.
the Shop is. A show.
That must be a basketball show.
I don't know if it was a basketball show. Oh, you know what? I'll bet it is. They got a barbershop thing where they sit around and chat it up, I think. Yeah, I think it's a barbershop setting type of deal. That's my guess. Anyway, he said on that show, speaking of Brittany Griner, the WNBA
Oh
player,
yes, they
who's-
got attacked. Yes.
In the one in Russia?
the one in Russia
Okay.
that's in prison
Oh,
in
a
Russia.
different one. Okay.
He said, now, how can she feel like America has her back? I would be feeling like, do I even want to go back to America?
No, please don't.
I did hear about that. Yeah.
So he
Please
said
do
that,
not.
and people jumped his ass.
Good.
And of course, Steve
Yes,
Harvey.
she does not deserve the protection of the United States.
Right. Well, you know what? She's charged with. You know what she pled guilty in court and said. You know what her defense was? What her apology was? I didn't mean to.
Oh, right, right. Bull crap.
And she's charged with major transportation, which means she didn't have 1 or 2 vape pens in her bag.
Right.
And it was hashish oil.
Mm-hmm.
Not,
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah.
do you ever smoke hash?
She does not deserve the protection nor the defense or the recovery of the United States when she wants to talk about not standing for the national anthem or taking a knee for the national anthem, and that she doesn't even want the national anthem played at their
Yeah,
games.
right.
Bye-bye.
Absolutely.
Stay over there. Stay over there. Don't come back.
I'll see you in 10 years.
Maybe.
You know
or
who
not.
you know who Enos Cantor is?
Yes, I do. I love him. Freedom.
I think he's probably done in the NBA, but he torched LeBron on I forget. I think he was on Tucker.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
I saw him.
And that was awesome, wasn't it? Didn't you love him?
I love him. Yes. He will not back down. He
Did-
will not back down.
Did you hear players coming up to him and say telling him you're done in the league? I think he said that on that
they
Tucker.
they can't cancel his contract over that.
He had his last contract was a 1-year contract.
Oh shoot! All right, then I guess he might be. Then.
But it was like 2.7 or the veteran NBA veteran 2.7 or 4.7 million, I think was his last contract. It was a 1-year. So we'll see if somebody wants him back. Because if it comes to winning, they might. But and let me see if I can find it here. So, let me read this part of it first. So LeBron, after getting torched by everybody, right? he tweets, my comments on the shop regarding Brittany Griner, and then this is the best part about this sentence. My comments on the shop regarding Brittany Griner wasn't knocking our beautiful country.
Right.
But you know what? He can't even get his grammar right. He's such an intelligentsia. The intelligentsia. Can't even get his grammar right. And that's not
He's
how...
an academic.
You know what? Nobody says knocking our beautiful country. Or nobody says our beautiful country. That's not even, to me, appropriate words for the situation. My comments on the shop regarding Brittany Griner weren't knocking America, would be the line, if he had any kind of sincerity to the statement.
Okay.
He would say America, in my mind.
Yeah.
I was simply saying how she's probably feeling emotionally, along with so many other emotions. Oh, he sounds like Kamala. And emotionally thought, no, I'm just kidding. I was simply saying how she's probably feeling emotionally, along with so many other emotions, thoughts, etc. Inside that cage she's been in for over 100+ days. Long story short, hashtag bring her home.
No, please don't.
Yeah. You know,
Please don't.
You know, did she ask for it?
Yes, she asked for it.
I mean, you know.
You knew she was taking an illegal substance over there. And, celebrities like that and sports figures just think they're above the law.
They do. Mm-hmm. It's funny, though. Let me check this out really quick. Let me see if I can find it. So that was that. Let me get back to it.
Have you got any reporters from the Moms for Liberty thing that's going on in Tampa?
That was last weekend, I think, wasn't it?
I know. I thought you were going to go down there.
I just couldn't work it out.
Okay.
Am I being judged?
No.
Sounds like it.
No.
So he makes this statement, right? And let me see here. And the tweets, the responses, the replies were awesome.
To LeBron?
Yeah, to LeBron. Do you know Tony Bruno was a talk show guy, pretty famous talk show guy. Did a lot of radio show stuff, right? He's like, his reply was, "I'd like to propose you get sent to a Muslim slave camp until you apologize to all Americans and denounce your masses in Beijing."
Yeah, I like that.
Hashtag LaFraud.
Yeah.
Another one. Would you be this upset if a random American was being held for the same thing?
Exactly. He wouldn't even know about it.
I think this one is serious. Toxic masculinity is assuming what a woman thinks and tweeting it. Do better, King. Do better, King James.
That's a great one. Yes.
I think it's kind of silly, but do better, King James.
Do better. Wait a minute. Was the word woman in that sentence?
Ooh, yeah. Well, I don't even. How do they know? Some people.
He's assuming her gender and assuming her pronoun.
Right.
No.
This is a genius. This is so somebody Stephanie posts a picture. Enough said. It said this WNBA player protested against the United States and didn't want the national anthem played at any of her games, and now she's in prison in Russia.
Bye.
Excuse me, and wants the United States to save her.
Nope. Sorry.
Right, and so this
Bye-bye.
Christina replies, "Y'all do realize that you're arguing that a person deserves to rot in jail and be treated differently by their country if they use their First Amendment right to protest, not singing the national anthem, right? Sounds like y'all would like Russia a lot. So she's in Russia, though.
Okay.
She used her First Amendment right.
Yes.
That doesn't mean there's no consequences to what you say.
Correct.
Right?
She's committing a crime. You want the country that you spoke against to rescue your ass for after you committed a crime.
Here,
Sorry.
this is the last one I'm going to read, but I thought this is the one that caught my eye originally. Bull, and I don't mean the team. You made your multi-millions in the USA and still slam it while refusing to go to what you believe is a better country than the USA. There's always China, James. Why not go where your bread is buttered?
Yes, I agree.
He just, and then I told you, did you hear me say Steve Harvey stuck up for him?
No.
Yeah. Steve Harvey's not one of us.
No, he's not.
He hate Whitey.
He's not.
He hate Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
Despite, what's that show?
I don't know.
The
Family Feud.
Family Feud.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about another show.
Whatever.
Speaking of mouthing off, I started a big war on Twitter the other night after the news, about the guy that saved all the people at the mall.
Oh yeah.
All these jackasses were talking on Twitter about how if it wasn't for the Second Amendment, that mass shooter wouldn't have had a gun in the mall, and that kid should not have had a gun in the mall. And I said, look, dummies, that mass shooter was not expressing his Second Amendment rights.
Yeah.
He's a criminal.
It was a criminal.
And criminals will always have guns, whether they're legal or not. Get a grip.
Do you?
And I woke up to a bunch of notifications, and I never have notifications on Twitter.
I don't know why I don't see you in my on Twitter.
I see myself
on Twitter.
Oh, on Twitter? Are you following me?
Yes.
Well, then you would see what I tweet.
Do you ever see mine?
Yes.
That's weird. You'll have to tag me
You
a couple.
you retweeted it. You retweeted it.
Because you asked me to.
Oh, well, because you guys asked
And
me
you did
to
not
retweet
retweet what I asked you to retweet.
Yes, I
I
did.
did. Yeah, I think you did.
Todd and
Yes,
Tia
I
did.
did. I did it right that second.
You liked them. You didn't retweet them.
Hold on a minute.
I bet everybody enjoys our, my
I swear.
bickering.
Our bickering. I swear. Unable to down. Oh, I can't do it right now because
It's
this
like a
stupid.
sister and her younger brother.
Yes. No.
I just won that one.
Your sister and my much older brother.
So I'm gonna. Do you want to talk about your thing, Kelly? I'm gonna.
No, we're gonna hang on a second because we're gonna do what I said.
Then I'll wait on.
I can't get on Twitter because this iPad mini that I have is very old and it won't download the newest version of Twitter. So I don't know what's going on.
I'm just getting on the chat on Facebook, you guys. Sorry. Hi, Jody. Greg, what's up? Greg, let's schedule you back on the show sometime soon. Hey Scott.
Yeah.
Hey Scott, buddy. By the way, your shirt, speaking of pronouns, something about a t-shirt, he says, I do have it in my car. So I've gotten that far. I got to the box, found a double
That
XL.
was like 3 weeks ago, Scott.
Why don't you be quiet? And
Talk about snail mail.
and I'm snail Faja. Hey Greg. Who else is in here?
Jody.
Gabe and Aurora are out there, I'm sure. What's going on? But let's go quickly to this morals video, Todd.
Morals video.
The first video we were going to play. And Kelly, this is something I found today. So what we're going to do, Kelly, is we're going to go do the morals video. Then we're going to talk the CDC's new secret transition affirmation, I'm calling it, website story.
Oh,
that
The
Todd
secret
sent,
one?
that Todd sent out. Then we'll
Yeah.
talk about Greenwood Plaza Mall incident.
Greenwood Park.
That's what I said, Park.
You,
And then we're going to get to Glenn Beck's. That whole thing is just a.
did you watch that last night?
No, I watched it I listened to it this morning today.
The show from last night.
Yeah, I love Glenn.
Yeah, me too.
Even though he's a Muslim.
He is not.
Just
Mormon.
hang on. I said LDS, a Mormon.
That
Mormon,
is slander.
Muslim, same thing. Mormon, Muslim, whatever. What?
That's slander.
I'm joking. I love Glenn.
Yeah.
But you ready, Todd?
Yeah.
All right. I think it's about 4 minutes, so we may cut it short. But
Shows
and I really
7.
like the girl in this. I just came across this guy. I can't remember his name. Does it say his name there, Todd? Patrick Bet David. But he's pretty good. But let's roll the clip.
Okay, here we go.
Record high 50% of Americans rate U.S. moral values as poor. Okay? So this kind of goes to where you were going and where I was going. Watch this. 50% say moral values as poor. 37% say only fair. 78% think moral values in the U.S. are getting worse. Consideration of others cited as the top problem with state moral values. We've been talking about this on the podcast for the longest time. We no longer talk about morals and values. Whether you're a Christian or a Catholic or a Jehovah or Seventh-day or LDS, whatever it is, the basic foundation of Judaism, the basic foundation of any of these religions is what? Forgiveness, is like kindness, don't judge, steal, cheat.
Kill,
all of this
respect your
stuff
parents.
is the basic foundation of these morals and values, right? If we don't teach these basic morals and values, none of us will forgive. None of us will talk about redemption. None of us will believe in that. I think this is the problem America has today. When 9/11 happened, nobody cared about your skin color. We all became Americans. When COVID happens, everybody hated the orange man, and everybody became enemies because it was your political party before your country. This validates every point that we talk about on this on this podcast here. Schools. I can't tell you how many parents I'm talking about where we had one of our friends that we were just talking about in public school, what happened to their kid. They're like, I can't send my kid back to this public school. Right. I'm not comfortable. Why? Do you know what's the number one reason why they can't send their kids back to that public school? Morals and values. Yeah. Do you know why people are doing homeschooling? Morals and values. Do you know why people are sending their kids to private schools? Morals and values. Do you know why church attendance on some churches is at a record-breaking high right now where people coming back? Because people are starting to realize if they're not going to give it to me at my school, I'm going to put it on morals and values. Do you know why the football coach that is known as raising great men, that strong values and principles, do you know why some parents are getting out of his way or her way to challenge the kids to become better human beings? Because he or she is setting the tone with the kids of injecting the right morals and values. Do you know why certain companies with CEOs and executives are starting to recruit talent that are coming to them saying, listen, I'm here because of morals and values? This topic right here, no one is talking about because this is boring. Nothing about this is exciting. Nothing about this gets people to say, oh, yeah, let's go. This is going to go viral. Let's talk about this on CNN or Fox. Let's talk about this. Nobody wants to hear this because this is a boring but necessary topic. All of us we don't like it, but all of us internally, when we look back and we think about a leader or a coach
Can I say something
that
real quick?
pissed us off the most or a relative.
They're saying that the military is having trouble recruiting right now.
Yep.
And I bet it has a lot to do with morals and values.
Right?
So, anyway.
Yeah, and the vax. But, yeah, let's play this out. I want to get to this woman. I think it's about a 4-minute video. We'll play this out real quick.
All right.
Or in a couple minutes. And because
It
I
was
like
typically
Jedediah's
a person
her
that
name.
expected
Sorry.
Go ahead.
more from us. And we were like, man, I can never get to that level. But that's the person you remember. You remember the worst, and you remember the person that pissed you off because they expected more from you. It was kind of like, I can never reach this guy's level. Totally get it. But you know what? At 42, you're sitting there saying, hey, listen. You know what I mean, Miss Sinclair? Kind of love you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. I am who I am because you challenge. You go back to that, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, what do you think about this, Jedediah?
Well, one of the things that I think broke this for a lot of us was technology.
I think social media and hiding behind phones and not having eye contact and not having real interpersonal relationships, I think it broke. People hide behind. If you look at social media, people say things on Twitter they would never say to you. They would never say to your face. So I think the rise of all of this technology and putting distance between people and lack of community, one of the reasons I think that 9/11 and COVID were different, because after COVID, everybody was isolated. They were all separated. You became the enemy. You over there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in my house and I'm staying home and you're not staying home. You're the enemy. Oh, I got a vaccine and you didn't get a vaccine. You're the enemy. If people, where that didn't happen was in places like Florida, where people were out and about and they were talking to each other and you realized you had a shared humanity. You talked to somebody and you said, oh, that's not my enemy. That's just somebody that made a different life decision than I did. So that's the difference. I think technology is number one, and I think big media is the other problem. Yeah. Big media, I always say, division is a business model in big media, and I think they thrive. Yes. They thrive off of screaming and yelling. Oh, let's put two people on a split screen and have them yell at each other. Yep. But we're not going to solve anything. We're just gonna present this view that they can't stand each other, and that trickles out. So I think that's the part about how we don't see each other as people anymore, which is why when we sat here with Nikki Fried and we had a discussion, people were like, where is this? Well, it's not happening because people don't do this anymore, because cable news doesn't thrive on it and social media doesn't thrive on it. So you have to find and make those spaces. That's number one. I think the morals are a little bit, when you dig deep into schools and what's going on, that's going to become a different conversation about woke ideology and all that. But the very fabric of, like, I'm a human, you're a human, we can disagree, I respect you, you respect me, let's hash it out, that is increasingly vanishing. And you have to think, are our kids who only know a world where all these phones are out and social media, are they going to grow up able to have these conversations, or are they going to have lost that completely, skip that step, because they don't have a basis of comparison? We had how many years in the world before? I didn't have a cell phone until I was 19. I had a normal, functional childhood. These kids in an iPad and a cell phone. Yeah. We did on the show this week virtual this and virtual that and metaverse. Screw the metaverse. Your kid wants to play, send him outside.
Send him in the universe.
Yeah. Really?
Exactly.
Honestly.
Like Forget the metaverse, send him in the universe.
Send him in the universe. Put that on a shirt.
By the way, I'm gonna do something right now that I
Jack Harlow, be careful. He's coming. Adam Sauce.
Here's what I'm gonna do to Jedediah right now.
Slow clap.
Because everything you just said, I literally wrote down as like a talking point that I wanted to discuss. I swear to God.
Pause.
Social media.
She saw your notes.
Okay,
she was. That whole thing was on point.
Yes.
You know, and one of the things that struck me about that is, you know, how he said in 9/11 everybody came together. And we did. It was.
But it lasted about a month.
It was us against the world, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, we were one for however long that was.
Yeah, about a month.
And then, like they said about COVID, it became party before country and division and hate.
Yes.
And, you know, that likens me back to Kennedy. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. And we're not that country. We're not those people anymore.
No. What can you do for me?
What about me? I mean, it's out there. What was the conversation I was having, business? What it's all about, it's just like the NBA and LeBron James, and remember, the coach said something about China and China, what was it, Singapore they were messing with a couple years ago? Taiwan said something about Taiwan, you know, that China needs to back off and they got humanitarian issues, you know. And the NBA office shut them down. Why? Because it was money over country.
Absolutely. Yep.
Because it's money over country. That's why LeBron James is a fraud.
That's why you don't
and
like
a piece
Nike.
Of shit.
That's why you don't like Nike.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like any of them that jump on this woke shit. And that's why, you know, I'm listening to a book called Woke Inc. And the premise of the book is these companies aren't woke. They're seizing on it because it's profitable.
Right.
Well, it's kind of like the idea of these companies that'll pay for women's abortions. It's not because they're necessarily, trying to be a great individual. They're trying to save money.
Well, yeah, because it's cheaper to
kill the baby.
Send them for the abortion. Send them. Well, if you're in Ohio, you got to go to Indiana, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Even if it's those.
But it's just.
It's cheaper to send them, to another state for an abortion than it is to give them 6 weeks off paid.
Right.
Right.
And then have to hire someone to cover them.
It's complete insanity.
Right.
And you know what? Jim Harbaugh, Michigan coach, I finally agree with him on something. And he said it. He said it the best it could be said. Have the courage to let that baby be born.
Yeah, he'll get punished for that.
Yeah.
He's getting crucified.
Yeah. Well, good for him.
And you know what? One of my friends on Twitter who I love her. I think her handle is it's Elizagan. It's like Elizabeth, but Elizigan. Her real name's Gretchen, but she said, "What a surprise that a Catholic with 7 kids is pro-life."
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and this is a liberal dude. I can't stand him overall.
Yeah.
Because he brought in Kaepernick, who kneels, we all know that. And that's the Nike deal, the whole Nike thing. But, it's I just don't get the intellectual, the cognitive dissonance of ignoring that. It's what C.S. Lewis says. The greatest cowardice is ignoring facts. Refusing to see the facts.
Right.
Well, that's what everybody does.
And it's ego, right? Because you can't be wrong, right? Nobody can say,
Right.
I you know what? I was wrong about that.
Right.
And I find that to be the difference with some, in the left and the right to me. Because I feel like the left won't, and this is my feeling, won't back off no matter what.
Scott made a comment that's true far as.
What did he say?
Just that these corporations need to realize that if all this administration goes through, that they're sunk, and that's true.
Yeah. Hey, John, what's going on?
And I think some of that, they're finding out because of the stock market being down right now.
People are losing over 30% of their 401k. It's horrific.
Yep. Wake up.
Do you want to play any more of this?
No, I think we can.
Okay.
That can be enough of that one. But moral. I had this conversation with somebody, and I said something about. I said, for one, what's wrong with the left's platform? And I'm like, for one thing, it's godless. And they said, I don't believe in God. What's wrong with me? And you know what? They made a good point in this video. They said if we don't teach these morals and values and principles, they're not going to get taught. And that's the thing that this person had asked me is, well, your parents taught you these things, and your grandparents taught you these things, and those things were taught to them by your great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents.
Right.
These things have been taught for 250 years in this country.
Generations, yeah.
Right? 247, 46.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. That's why you have them.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the thing
Yeah.
about, it's Ben Franklin today. Somebody asked him, I guess it was a woman, they said, where I heard this, said, "What have you given us?" When they had signed the Constitution. And he said, "A republic, if you can keep it."
Right. Try to keep it. Yeah.
Which I believe we will, and I believe that we need to believe that we will. We talk a lot about them winning, and they're not winning. There's all kinds of things. We should make a list this week, the three of us, of the things, and you guys listening out there can chime in next week about it and think about it, but the things that, that show that we're winning.
The thing that shows that we're winning is the fact that it's going to be short of election fraud, there will be a red tsunami, and they know it. And that's why they are running so scared and trying to get all of this stuff done so fast.
Yeah, new COVID strain. Isn't it funny that LA is instituting indoor masks again, but they put out a report by their health system
What's the reasoning?
Political expediency.
No, but they're not backing it up with numbers.
They
right?
backed it up with only 3 people have been hospitalized for COVID in the last however many months or whatever.
You know what? Here's the thing. If those jackasses that live in California allow them to do that, that is their problem.
Well, that's why so many of them are moving.
The problem is
don't bring your politics with you.
We say that, right? But the problem is, did you see the story or the headline? And I'll try not to forget my point here, but where if you took out the top 5 cities for murder, D.C., Detroit, St. Louis, Philly, and Baltimore, something like that. We're third in the world in murder per capita. If we take out those 5 cities, we're 193rd.
Right.
It's the same thing with California. If you take out Los Angeles and San Francisco, it's red AF.
Right.
Well, that's the whole thing with states' rights. The states were supposed to be able to do what they wanted and, succeed or fail on their own merit, and the federal government's just gotten too big to let that be the case. It's kind of like us bailing out all these union pensions around the country. The federal government, I don't know, was that before last week? Did we talk about that last week?
I don't think we talked about it, but it was within the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Where Biden basically went ahead and bailed out all these union pension funds. And now all of us, are on the hook for the poor decisions that were made. But
Scott, I know they brought Fauci in. It didn't quite relate to Harbaugh, but you're right. I've pretty much am done. I had a package of, since you mentioned that, Scott, I had a package of Pro V1 golf balls that I kept because they had the Michigan logo on them. I hadn't played them, and I didn't want to lose them, But since they've become so monstrously super woke, a couple of those got lost this week. I broke them out. Vaxxed and boosted coming down with COVID. By the way, D.C. has instituted that you can't go to school unless you're vaxxed.
Oh, you know what?
And boosted. If you're age appropriate, so 12 and up.
But here's the deal. All the morons that live over there will do it.
Yeah. We've seen the reports of what's coming down the pike, right? With the vaccine. Yeah, man, it is freaking doom and gloom, but you look at everything all the indicators, right? The life insurance companies, the mortuaries, the people saying that the casket manufacturers saying they've never had anybody order the child size caskets in bulk before.
Who just talked about that yesterday? Dang it, I recorded it and I can't see it. Somebody just talked about that. yesterday
Yeah, it's
about,
just
the life insurance companies are going to go broke because their actuaries are just, oh, it was Kramer. I shared it on my Facebook.
Jim Cramer
The
was
actual, huh?
Jim Cramer.
No, no, I don't know what his name is. He just goes by Kramer Says on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
He talked about how all the the historical actuary numbers they're literally mean nothing now because so many millennials are dying of it, and it has a new acronym now, sudden adult death syndrome.
Yeah. What the? I mean, really?
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. Are you seeing how I can't remember who tweeted or whatever about it might have been my friend Margot, actually. You didn't respond to that tweet I told you, or that I sent you. Nobody did.
Yeah, he's talking about that one I was worried about. I
Yeah,
couldn't
that was
believe
the
I
thing.
couldn't believe what you were saying.
We're not going to talk about what you thought, that part of it.
No, I'm just saying I can't believe what you were saying.
Yeah. My friend that I became friends with over politics and stuff on Facebook, and we've been pretty good friends for the last year or whatever, got hit by a car crossing the road this week.
He kind of tweeted
and-
about it, Kelly, to all of us, but he was very vague about it, wanting us to say something, and I didn't say anything because I couldn't believe what he was saying.
Anyway, yeah, she's gone now, and that was
What? She got killed?
yeah, she was killed.
Oh my gosh.
And it was
Well,
She
you'll have
was
to
very-
you'll have to tell us more about it.
yeah, we'll
You
talk.
don't have to do it right now.
You know what?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
love you, Margot. Jeez.
Just walking across the street and just
Walking her dog.
mind your own business.
Walking her dog.
Well, but his
Wow.
thing is he wonders about.
We're not going to talk about
Okay.
that because I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in private or whatever. But
I
I
think
don't
I
even
know
know
what
where
you're
the
saying.
hell I was going with it now. But Gabe, where was I going?
Were you just upset?
Ronnie says, "Hey, Kelly."
Ronnie?
Ronnie Rosler.
Oh, Ronnie! Hey, Ronnie! Thanks for watching.
You know what, Greg?
That is
Greg, you're
one
right.
sweet dude right there.
Greg just said Democrats are killing their followers with the vax.
Yes. Yes, true.
I don't quite get their.
It's a bad business model.
Yeah, their business model is shitty.
Here, buy our shoes.
Okay,
There
Todd.
it
This
is.
we're gonna switch it up. This next segment, Todd, is on you because you produced it today. So kind of take us through the progression of it, and I'll kind of preview it a little or tease it a little.
This is just, and I'm going to call it up it'll be on the screen behind
Right.
you there.
Okay, so
basically.
what it is the CDC now has a website. They have lured kids to a website where they can
So disgusting.
basically have their transitory thoughts affirmed, feelings affirmed.
Well, and they're egged on. They're encouraged.
Right, encouraged. Well, you saw that Rachel Levine was saying we need to encourage kids' transitions.
Yes. Yes. I have words for Rachel.
Yeah. But
So you
anyway,
could-
this website is. Do you have it up yet, Todd?
Yeah,
on the screen?
it's up.
So it's a website where kids can go and chat with people to talk about their gender identity issues, secretive, secretly from their parents.
Right.
And I haven't actually.
So basically, we can coach you right along to the edge of reassignment. That's what you need to do.
Right.
For you to and lay it out without parents knowing.
And the interesting thing about the secretiveness of it is that, I mean, for one thing, I didn't realize until I heard somebody talking about, apparently this is brought to you by Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, no shit.
Which I'm kind of like, okay, I didn't know they were supposed to be into this either. I guess they can, if they get people to do this, they don't have to worry about killing their babies because they're not going to have any babies. It's kind of like, you know, they're screwing up their business model there too. But it's interesting. This green bar that's here on the thing is a way that if the kids are on this site,
Oh my
chatting,
God! And their parents walk up behind
they
them.
just click this button here, and you can see it jumps them straight to Google, so that
So you don't get busted.
so your parents don't
That
know.
is so freaking disgusting.
So we have Rachel Levine coming out. What is her assistant human services? I mean, she's an admiral, right? She's the first female admiral.
Stop. She's not a female. Stop lying.
You know what? Speaking of that, we didn't get to say this. I didn't get to say this one thing. Speaking of that, her not being a female. My son called me
Reality.
today.
Speaking of reality.
Yeah, my son and I were talking this week, and we were talking about normal stuff, not politics. Life's, I don't know, what is there to talk about besides politics? But his job, my job, Glamma, whatever we were talking about. And he goes, can we talk politics for a minute? He goes,
And you're like, what?
he goes, yeah, everybody gives me a hard time about that. They're like, will Jim talk about politics? Will Faja talk about politics? So he goes, China's trying to take over the world, right? They're trying to make trade deals that favor them and that put them in position to take over, you know, land. You know, they're acquiring land. They're investing in countries. They're putting themselves in position to be the number one superpower in the world.
What's
and
the
we're
question?
arguing about whether men can have periods or not.
Yeah, right.
That's what's happening in the United States.
And we're trying to get other countries.
Whether men can have babies, have periods.
Right.
Well, but we're also trying to get the other countries to do the same.
You mean?
We're trying
can't see
to
it.
get them to care about those silly things also.
I don't think that we really are.
Oh, right.
Because they're already all in. I don't think we really. I'm not sure. I can't see it at this point because those countries like Germany, France, the UK. I don't know where the UK is at. Probably, I think there would be an uprising in the UK. But you know, the other bigger countries, France, Germany, you know, they're all in on it. You know what we never talk about is the Middle East isn't in on any of this shit.
Yeah, because they're not going to put up with that crap. No.
I would guess that, you know, I wonder where India's at on it. I would guess India. You know,
I would say no.
Yeah,
No.
me too.
The Hindu
We are
religion is not gonna
we're
go for
the
that crap.
holdout. We're the holdout to the World Economic Fund. We are the holdout.
Yeah, the Hindu religion is not going to put up with that crap.
And neither will Christianity, and that's why it's being attacked so hard.
We are putting up with it.
Yeah, it depends on
You
what
know,
kind of
little
church.
by
You know
little.
what? That is very discouraging that you say that because it's true.
I'm sorry.
It's true.
Methodist
I'm agreeing with you.
Methodist churches are allowing gay and lesbian ministers.
A lot of people.
Just welcoming them in, you know, just indoctrinating and all that stuff, and then the next thing it'll be the next thing, and the next thing, and it'll be transgender, and it'll just snowball.
I wonder when we're going to have the first. How do I say it? The first cat identifying pastor.
Right. I'm just saying,
Meowing
it's just
from the
slowly
pulpit.
all of this secular humanism is working its way into the church, and the mainstream pastors are just allowing it. You know, only the people like Greg Locke are the ones that are speaking out against all this crap.
That's right. Amen to him. Scott, you're right. Fentanyl is manufactured in China, huh? Fentanyl is manufactured in China. The vaccines are manufactured in China.
yeah.
The tests are manufactured in China.
Yeah. All of the above.
Greg said kids are too impressionable. Period.
Absolutely.
Fucking leave the kids
Absolutely.
alone. You're right.
Yep.
You're right, Greg. It's that's why they're after them. That's why the big push against the quote unquote "don't say gay" bill in Florida that they were trying to push, and why they named it that. They want because that impressionable age is from 0 to 7 years old.
Think about how Pink Floyd was so ahead of their time with that song.
Leave the kids alone.
Another brick in the wall is just another brick and another brick and another brick and another brick.
And he would be, but you know what? I want to know where he stands. I don't know if I want to know where he stands because he's a huge. I would say he's a huge lefty.
Who?
Roger Waters.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Well,
kind
I'm
of like
just
Crosby,
saying-
Stills, and Nash.
That doesn't mean that they didn't have
But they
the
weren't making a
foresight
good
to see
point.
what was going to happen.
Yeah, I do too, Greg. Have you heard Korn's version of that song?
No.
I have
Yeah.
not.
But you know that lead singer of Korn is now an evangelist.
What's that?
The lead singer of Korn, which I don't know his name, he's now an evangelist.
Shut up.
No.
I think I've heard
Look
that
it
too
up.
before. Yeah.
That,
yeah.
Look it up, Todd.
Okay.
Yes, he travels around with Bethel Ministries. They go all over Europe. There's a documentary that I've seen, and they'll walk into a bar like in Ireland and ask people to think what they need to be prayed for. And then before you know it, they have a huge crowd around them. People are crying and, committing themselves to Christ. It's crazy. And there he is with all of his dreadlocks and his piercings and his face tattoos.
Does he still perform?
I don't know. I do not know about that. But I'm just with that. The documentary is totally cool because it's like, so people like that, only he can reach a certain
Right.
demographic. I mean, it's just so totally awesome.
Good point, Greg. The Grand Illusion.
Yes.
Sticks.
And that's another song, right?
Yep, Sticks.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
There's an article there on it. You can see on the screen there.
Yeah, there he is. Well, I don't know what his name is. What's his name?
Brian Head Welch.
Okay.
Why he returned to Korn as a Christian despite the crazy music. So he's still rocking it.
Well,
I guess he is.
he's probably
He's a guitarist.
using it as a way to reach out to the people.
Yeah, right on.
I'll find the video or find the.
He walked from a $23 million record deal and left the group after choosing the Lord Jesus Christ as a Savior.
I'll have to find that documentary. It's so totally awesome.
Yeah, put that out there. All right, let's get to Greenwood Park Plaza Mall.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
our
Hometown hero.
Our hero.
and
Hometown
our
hero.
hang on. And our
Okay.
on-site reporter,
Yeah.
Glamma Calloway.
Oh, I should have sent you his videos, but I didn't even think about it.
I've got them. The two that
Oh,
you
you
took.
did? What, the ones that I took?
Yeah. I've got a picture of the
cool.
hero up.
Are
on
you
the
two
screen.
texting behind my back?
She sent them to us.
I sent them to the group, and he must have saved them.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, Paige works with a girl that is from Seymour, and she said that dude will never buy another thing in Seymour again. They won't let him.
You got the picture of
said-
him up?
Yeah. He's,
Key to the city, the sky's the limit, everything's
Full
yours.
screening.
well, I've got it full screen over there. I mean, it's
And I was talking to somebody today, and they were saying that he shut his Facebook down probably almost immediately, I mean, because he probably had to.
The next Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yes, exactly. I guarantee you Crowder will have him on if he's willing to do
And
the
the-
show
and the
when
left
we get
is
back in
trying-
August.
The left is trying to destroy him.
oh sure.
That won't happen. Sorry. They didn't destroy Kyle. He's living the life. He's seeing the world, and
They
Having a
destroyed him
great
in the
time.
media, but to the left, that's all they know.
Now, Kelly, I've got you sent us 2 videos. What do you want to talk about? Because I'm
Yeah,
sure
tell us, what was it?
the
So
wine.
Kelly was having dinner.
Okay, so we got there at 5:30 at the Cheesecake Factory, which is kind of like catty cornered on the other side of the mall.
Yeah, this looks like a
And,
shot from the Cheesecake Factory that I've got up.
Yeah, we were sitting in that little there's like a little rotunda right there in the front, and it's all windows, and we were all sitting at the booths in the windows. And my nephew goes, a cop just ran by with a rifle. And we're like, what? And so I turned on my police scanner. Well, then we all start getting texts from people.
You're crazy.
And then I start texting a friend of mine that has connections at IMPD. And so, of course, I got the correct numbers from her. But what we didn't know at the time was the dude was dead in 15 seconds. So literally, that kid heard boom, 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 and pulled his gun and shot off 10 rounds, and 8 of them hit the guy.
And that's not even the amazing part, that 8 of 10 hit him.
Yeah.
The amazing part was it was from about 40 yards, Todd said?
Yes.
It was like 50 or
Yes.
between 50 and 40 yards that he was and he was moving towards him at the time too. But he started.
He was walking him down, and Todd said, and pushing people down and to the side.
Well, and shoving it behind him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
totally cool.
Just,
but then you
I mean,
have the idiots on Twitter, saying he had no business in the mall with a gun, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you know what? I can't say what I want
the
to
first
say.
thing I saw was this some gun activist chick who said, imagine somebody walking into a mall with an illegally with a weapon and killing people, and somebody walking in illegally with a weapon and then killing him.
It's so stupid. I mean
what kind of moron are you?
Picture how stupid they sound.
Well, it's the same thing as the bodega guy. Like
Yes.
you can't protect yourself.
Oh.
What's going on with
Thank you for
him?
ridding the world of a career criminal. Goodbye.
I heard that he was everything was dropped.
Oh, good.
Like in the last few days or something.
Good. And you know what?
Yeah,
He needs
for the bodega guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he needs to be a
Bodega?
millionaire.
Yeah,
He needs to be a millionaire, by the way.
Yeah.
City of New York needs to cough it up for slandering him like that.
Oh, for sure. 100%. But anyway, it made me think of something about that guy, about the kid.
So here, I
Shoot,
want to
now
say
I-
something else about all these shooters. Somebody pointed this out. All these shooters are 20, 21, 22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
White kids, probably on antidepressants.
Yep.
I've got to find the website. There's a website. It's like psychotropics.com or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That talks about all these events by people that are on these drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Like outrageous shit like this. Right? And, and we already have the stories of the FBI, recruiting, talking to kids, busted by parents.
6-week cycles.
What's that mean?
That's usually whenever they every so often to keep things like that in the news against
These
right.
events,
every 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, exactly, Greg. And so, it's just like the Uvalde guy. This kid, how old was he? 18? This kid,
19.
he had a $60,000 Ford F-150. He had $7,000 worth of $5,000, $6,000 worth of Daniels Defense ARs, ammo out the butt, armor. Where'd that come from?
Huh.
Nobody
He
asked
has a
that.
good job.
Yeah, I forget what his job was. It was a really good
I
job.
don't know. Forgive it. I got to tell you this really quick. So my sister sends a group text yesterday, all in a panic, saying that she had heard a rumor that Simon Malls had banned Elisha from any mall, any Simon Mall. And I'm like, oh, hell no. I will never shop at any of those malls ever again. And all of us said, we're going to blast them on social media, blah, blah, blah. So I said, but wait a minute. Let's get to the bottom of it first. So I called the head of security at Greenwood Park Mall. And I said, hey, there's a rumor going around that you guys have, that the Simon Malls has banned him, blah, blah, blah. He's like, absolutely not. He goes, did you read the statement? And I said, yes, I did. And he said, if that was true, I would have been the one to sign the no trespass order. And it's not true.
Good.
So, yeah.
And by the way,
I said, well, thank you very much. I was about ready to blast you all over Facebook.
And I'll cancel this post.
Scott just
Yeah.
said,
Yeah. Oh, let me hit erase.
yeah, Kelly isn't too sharp on the old posting thing. She hasn't figured out yet that you have to.
How to not get in jail.
Instead of saying, I just have to say it because it's the only way I can say it. She types out, "Fuck you, you piece of shit, jackass."
No, I would never.
Instead of using the finger emoji,
no,
the poop icon and a donkey. That she hasn't learned yet that she can't reach anybody when she's in Facebook jail.
You are making the whole thing up. I have promoted violence by saying, "Kick your." That's what's gotten me kicked off. I think
she gets kicked off for threatening me.
Yes.
Well, because we're equals.
Yeah.
Did you just tell me the truth? When we were in Tampa, did you think you could take me if it came down to it?
No, what do you mean?
We're equals. I just wondered what
men
and women are equals.
No, that thought never crossed my mind. I didn't know you yet. I didn't know I was going to have to yet.
Were you one to arm wrestle or something right there?
With Tia by my side, there's no question.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't want no part of you two.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay.
Right.
But, so she was in the mall when it happened, and, Elijah Dickens?
Dickens. No, Dickens. No S.
There is an S.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it's the other way because Tia spelled it. She didn't have an S to put it on the marquee.
So it's like Sandshaker, no S, right?
Yes, God, you drive me crazy. Okay. Sandshakers. Oh, stop it! It's the shaker. Just say. But
I do want to say this. The entire time that we were at that restaurant, I never felt unsafe.
Right.
Not one.
Well,
I never thought about
it. Is somebody carrying in that group?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Always.
Well, has anybody heard? Is he getting any kind of threats to him personally now?
I'm sure
I have not heard.
I'm afraid that a guy living there in Indy, and I'm sure his name and number and everything was searchable and able to find. And I just hope.
I'm sure that's all been changed and stuff.
I just hope he's safe.
Yeah.
You're right, Scott.
Well, I don't know if you guys know much about this area, but when I heard that somebody had taken the shooter out, I said, here's a description right now, because this is our area. He had on cowboy boots, Wrangler jeans, a t-shirt, and a baseball hat. Because that's, the cowboy, country boy.
Right. Did he?
That fits like my son, my nephew. They're all dressed like that at all times if they're not at work. I don't know. Right. Because then, you only see this dress shirt like it's a senior picture or something.
Right.
I haven't seen a casual picture of him.
Well, Elijah is a hero to all of us.
Yes, he is.
Absolutely. He saved lives.
Oh, yeah, countless. Because that dude had 60 rounds.
Yeah, the fact
we
that
had two max.
He could have killed 60 people.
Right. The fact that he only killed 3 people was,
Yes, it's a miracle.
Yeah.
I mean, he only had 15 seconds, but here's a sad story. The guy that was going into the restroom when that idiot was coming out, the first person that got shot was the guy Kai graduated with.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, listening tonight, this is, I don't know if you're still listening, Jody, or not. I love you. But listening tonight is Jody Larson. And you remember she was on with her about her grandfather's trip to Europe.
Yes.
World War II vet.
Yes.
And but she was at school at Columbine, the day of the
Wow.
Columbine.
Oh
shooting.
yeah, I remember you talking about that before. Yes.
That was. I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking back about that.
I'm sure that when these things happen, those people just have horrible flashbacks.
It was my grandmother called me. My grandma called me, and she goes, and she was worried. She's like, Jim, she didn't know what school Jared went to. She goes, is Jared okay? Is Jared okay? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure, yes, Grandma.
What are you talking about?
Why?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? And she goes, and she told me about the shooting, and when I said, yeah, he doesn't go to that school. He goes to one, 5 miles away or whatever, and blah, blah, like that. And she just broke down sobbing.
Well, I'm sure.
Once I told her, right? Mm-hmm. And then it triggered in me, my friend Jeff Spear, his two kids, Jody and Aaron, went to Columbine.
Oh, wow.
And so I called, all of a sudden, I was, right? And I called Jeff, and he let me know that they were okay and that everything was fine. And the same thing happened to me.
You started crying.
I was just overcome after I don't know what it was. I was just overcome after I found out they were okay.
Right.
So grateful. I remember. I almost remember like exactly where I was in I-25 in my friend's little Datsun pickup that we built pools out of when she called. So yeah, it's this culture's got to change. Culture's got to change. You know what? They made it. That Jedediah in the morals video made a great point. Right? Go outside and play.
Right.
Go outside and play. And I could get into my TikTok rant, being one of the fastest growing social media platform out there, speaking on that subject, but I'm not going to because we don't have time. We're going to move on. Todd and I were arguing before. Discussing.
Yeah.
He was discussing, I was arguing. Let's go to the Glenn Beck video and talk about old Hunter and Joe.
So
by the way, what?
So when I called this up, the clip is like 48 minutes long, but for some reason it's showing up at the 3:26 mark.
Yeah,
is that where you wanted to play it?
No, the beginning.
You want to play it from the beginning? Okay, that's what I was trying to get at.
What was it? Shit, you made me forget what I was going to say.
While you're thinking about it, look at my cool cup.
Mom, just a proud mom. And then what's it say? Patriot? But what's it say?
Who raised proud patriots?
Who raised proud patriots? Oh, that's sweet. That's nice.
Awesome.
So we were talking.
What were we talking?
I'm assuming you were wanting to say something previous to this, Glenn Beck.
I was.
You were already transitioning into it being about Biden and Hunter.
So
okay.
The last 3 weeks, Kelly, I don't think we talked about it on the show, did we? The tags.
Oh, the metadata.
The metadata.
So whenever he's punching in the metadata,
when I'm setting up YouTube,
right,
and I'm putting in keywords, I have a list of keywords that I just copy and paste in every week, and I add to it as we have guests on the show.
And it doesn't. You don't see it anywhere.
Right. It's just so that people searching may come across those.
Oh, okay. There are keywords that
Keywords.
bring up the search.
For
Never goes
searches.
out to anybody to see.
Right.
Okay.
So a few weeks ago, I had trouble, and I couldn't get YouTube set up, and I went to a different. I never got YouTube set up that night, and so we ended up running the show. So there's no copy of the show on YouTube, and to be on Patriot TV Live. So the next week, I finally saw or figured out the message, and it was my keywords. So I had FJB and something else or whatever in there. I had the letters FJB, and then I had it spelled out, I think. And
All the
And those
good
are
stuff.
no-no.
and so I took those, but I've been using those for months.
Oh, really?
And so I took them out, and it let me do it. Right?
Yeah.
And so then last week, I had the same trouble. So I also have in there MAGA, Trump won, Trump,
Well, that'll do it.
right? And so last week it
Yeah.
wouldn't do it.
Oh, my.
So I took out Trump won, and it let me do it.
Oh, my gosh.
I went to set it up tonight. Todd is standing there, and he's like, get it set up, and then let me do my thing. So I won't do it, and I'm like, damn it. I'm like, I got to go back through here and figure out what word it is again. And so the last one, they rearranged when I paste or whatever for whatever reason. And so I just took out Trump, and it let it go. And then it worked.
Oh, my.
So it's just like, yeah, they don't allow you to use Trump as a keyword.
That's pretty scary.
Wow. That is scary.
So for all you out there, you're making Google's not involved. Shut up. That's not.
Right.
No. Come on.
Yep.
Yeah, eat shit. It is. It's real.
Mm-hmm.
Their censorship is real.
Yep.
Okay, we want to play.
All right,
this
let's get into a little. We got about 10, 12 minutes. We can get into some of this, and be ready to pause.
now. Okay.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. At the tone,
Yes.
please record your message. When you have
Hello,
finished
Peter.
recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, pals, Dad, it's 8:15. I thought the article, at least the thing online, is going to be printed tomorrow in the Times, was good. I think it's clear.
No, Joe. Hunter is not in the clear, and neither are you. Because the evidence that Hunter Biden regularly partakes in criminal activity continues to grow, as do the clues that Joe Biden knows about all of it.
My son did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong.
And now, Hunter Biden financially benefiting from what's hurting Americans most?
Joe Biden sold nearly 1 million barrels of oil to a Chinese gas company that his son Hunter may still indirectly own a stake in.
Tonight, Peter Schweizer, author of Red Handed, joins me to explore all of the latest damning evidence against the Biden crime family from Hunter's infamous laptop. Tonight, Criminal Cronies, the never-ending trail of the Biden family corruption.
Pause.
Hello, America, and welcome.
You know what? The whole suppression of the Hunter laptop thing, it's Russian disinformation campaign, right? The letter was signed by 32 intelligence officials that it was a Russian disinformation campaign. The ABC, NBC, CBS, all those CNN, 0 seconds coverage on the whole deal, right?
Oh yeah.
Kelly, you with us?
I'm typing Greg back.
So
I'm answering Greg.
it's just mind-boggling to me the way it's being ignored. And again, the cognitive dissonance of the left out there, the people I believe the left, as in the politicians, are bad. But what are the people when they just ignore it?
They are just as guilty.
They're complicit, are they not?
Mm-hmm.
And this whole, the strategic oil reserves, I knew that it was bid on or whatever, and like 950,000 barrels went to China, went to this Sino,
that company.
Sino whatever company.
Yeah.
That Hunter, and I didn't realize that it was a company that Hunter had a stake in.
Yep.
All that company is clearly laid out in Laptop from Hell, in the Laptop from Hell book.
Yes.
It's just they're doing it. They're just spitting in our face.
Yep.
And the media is letting them do it.
Yeah.
The main problem is there's so many rhinos that are so compromised that they have to do whatever the Democrat leadership says. They're screwed. We're screwed.
Well, shit, they have to do what the Republican leadership says.
Right, but what I'm saying is because they're all so compromised.
Well, that's
with
what
their dirty deeds and their sin.
I'm saying McCarthy and
Graham,
McConnell,
Graham,
and McConnell are just as guilty as the Democrats.
Yes, 100%.
Well,
it's a uniparty.
It's a
uniparty.
Did you hear about? I think it was just in the last couple of days. There were like 45. I think they said Republicans that voted for this marriage bill.
Yep.
And I'm like, why in the world would they have done that? It just didn't make any sense.
All those things are just. I think they talk about it in this video, but all those things are just symbolic, more or less. They're this codifying shit. I mean, the contraceptive thing. Who says that people can't buy what is? I don't understand the contraceptive thing. From 1965 or something that you can't buy. Married couples can't buy contraceptives or something.
Right. They just threw in all kinds of crazy stuff, like even interracial marriages are okay.
Yeah,
and
nobody's
nobody's even asking that, but they're trying
Those are just scare tactics. That's all that is.
They're just trying to get the
rise.
African American votes. Like, oh, we've got to do it, or they're gonna make us look.
We're
bad.
gonna ban contraceptives. We're gonna and I don't care. I don't care who gets married. Anybody can get married. Government shouldn't be involved in marriage.
Again, that's a state issue.
Right, and the Supreme Court blew that when
It's a non-issue.
It's an issue that doesn't have anything has zero to do with our strength as a nation.
You should listen to what Matt Walsh posted yesterday about marriage and why we have marriage at all. I was like, wow, that's a good point.
Well, give me a synopsis.
I'll basically, the idea of marriage is to benefit society. The idea of a marriage benefits society, so that's why the government should honor a marriage that because it's a husband and a wife and they're going to have kids and it builds the society. Otherwise, why are we giving benefits to people I'll send you the link and you can listen to it.
That went out the window when they started taking the fathers out of homes.
Right. Well, that's just part of it.
To break down society.
Right.
Let's go back to the video.
To the program. The Biden family secrets keep getting worse, and as I think you will see by the end of the program, this president is compromised. He's compromised either by foreigners that have evidence that we haven't seen yet, or he's compromised here in America with people who are promising do what we say and we'll make sure you and your son stay out of jail. I don't know which, but he is compromised. The web of shady activity is so complex. Something new seems to emerge every single week, but nobody's talking about it.
Every day.
With so much political corruption around us all of the time, I have to ask the question, does this matter anymore? Mainstream media, if they even mention the Biden scandal at all, which they almost never do, they say the president's opponents are just going after his poor troubled son who has been through so much. You know, the endless stream of drugs, hookers, cashing in on his dad's political office. It's understandable. Well, no, it's not.
How's it understandable?
And here's why we need to care about it. Is it just a vendetta against Joe Biden and Hunter Biden? It's not for me. The reason all Americans should care about the Biden family corruption is because it's symptomatic of the ruin of American politics and the American way of life. How many of us are just fed up with the leaders at the highest levels of government getting away with things that you and I would get fired for, we'd get canceled, we would go to prison if we did any of the stuff that we now know Hunter Biden did. Ben Franklin said right after they signed the Constitution, a woman asked him, "What have you given us?" And Ben Franklin just said, "A republic, if you can keep it."
Pause. You know, that is the greatest point. You know?
Yeah.
If it was us, that's you know, almost the same, you know, the Bidens and the Bidens and illegal aliens. If it was us doing those things, we'd be in jail.
Mm-hmm.
But since it's you know, and they get away with it's cliche, right? They get away with murder. It's cliche, but it's not.
The Clintons do.
Yeah. Oh, I saw another one today about that. Just a guy. It was the Secret Service guy, but it was 6 years ago when he came out with the book about the Clintons lying and what it was like, you know, getting the Clinton detail and getting the Hillary detail as a Secret Service agent, and what, you know, what that was like. What horrific liars they were.
You know, I've got a guy that I go to
well,
church
and they
with.
treat them like crap.
I got a guy that I go to church with that claims he was part of the Hillary detail.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, does he have any reason to lie?
No, I don't think so.
Ooh, you don't sound like you believe him for sure.
I mean, I just haven't heard him talk
You know what
about
I'm saying,
it very
Kelly?
much. Other than the fact that he, you know, says he did, that's about all he said about it. I just want to know more.
Well, we didn't quite get into Glenn like I wanted to because it's a good.
You just watch it, everybody. It was on last night. It's on YouTube.
I had listened to 33 of the 48 minutes.
Watch the whole thing.
I'm gonna listen to the rest of it. But yeah, and by the way, if this stuff was out there about the Trumps,
oh gosh,
about Don Jr.,
it would be 24/7 nonstop coverage.
Oh God, yeah.
It would be they'd be under they'd be prosecuting them.
Yeah, for sure. They'd be in jail.
Did y'all see the thing that Elon Musk had posted about Hunter?
I can't remember.
Okay. It's just got a guy. His post shows a guy that has like GoPros mounted like all over his head.
It's got like 10 different cameras mounted to his head.
And then he says Hunter Biden, every time he buys crack and hookers, you know, that he's got cameras everywhere. And then
God, yes.
And then some girl posts imagine the positive impact you could have on the world if you use the extraordinary amount of influence and power you have to spread decency, kindness, and positivity. And then Elon Musk, after that, posted, imagine if MSNBC did that.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to end it tonight.
Wait
Spread
a
decency
minute, we're not
and
ending
goodwill.
it yet.
What?
Did you hear about Hillary Clinton's tweet shortly after they announced that Joe Biden had COVID?
No.
She posted a picture of herself from 1992. It says, "On the move."
I told Jim earlier that, Kamala
Wow.
could go in and Hillary could be vice president.
Yeah. Then Kamala will get impeached, and
She'd have to start watching her back,
the wicked.
That's what I said.
The wicked bitch from Little Rock would be president.
Yeah.
Hey,
Kelly?
if anything, it would make life interesting.
Kelly, thank you
You're welcome.
for being here tonight.
Uh-huh.
Todd, appreciate it. A lot of good
Always.
comments about about Frank last week.
Yeah, Frank's
Oh,
awesome.
good.
We missed you,
Yeah,
but
good.
a lot of good stuff with Frank. We had a good time, but I appreciate everybody who tuned in.
Yes, thank you for
Smash
watching,
the
everybody.
like
And don't-
button and share it. Please
and
share
share.
it. Share the video.
Yes.
Share the
Yes.
video, you guys, please. Help us
Yes.
out. Share it, share it, share it. You know what? If you don't want to share it on your page, share it in groups. I know y'all
Yeah.
belong to Patriot groups. Share it in groups, please.
Yeah.
We would love and appreciate that kind of help. So,
Yes.
Greg, good to see you. Scott, Jody, saw a bunch of people on here. Gabe, Aurora. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We will see you next week. Play
Have a
Harder.
good weekend, everybody.
Yeah, you guys have a good one. Play Harder Radio. Tell Staffing and HR Studio.